If you want to increase your TransUnion credit score like crazy, here are the steps you need to follow right now. Step number 1, I want you to get the facts. See, the whole thing is you are trying to work on the TransUnion credit score, but if you have no idea what's in there in the first place, if you have no idea what's in your TransUnion credit report in the first place, you can't do anything. So what I want you to do is you have two options. Option number 1, you can go the free version. In other words, trying to get a free copy of your TransUnion credit report. You can go to annualcreditreport.com, or there are other free credit score providers such as Credit Karma. You have Merit Wallet, you have Wallet Hub, you have a constellation of banks such as Chase. You also have American Express. You have a lot of players that offer you a free TransUnion credit report. So in the report, you have not only the report, the data, and whatnot, but you have also the score. So that's the free version. Now, if you want to really dig a little deeper, you want to have a clearer idea, a better idea of what's really happening, the dynamics in your credit report. And if you have the resources, you can order a paid copy from TransUnion. Okay, so basically this is coming from the source. So you are clear about what's in there in the first place. That's the primary step, okay? You want to order your credit report, credit score, and debt analysis online from TransUnion. That way you have a comprehensive current status. And so the thing is that when you look at the data from TransUnion, I want you to pay attention to a few important things. Look at things like incorrect mailing addresses, inaccurate social security numbers, former employers, okay? Think about indicators of identity theft. So there are a few things I want you to really pay attention to. Look at errors in your credit account. In terms of employer, let's say you have actually changed jobs like multiple times in the last 5 to 10 years. You really want to pay attention to make sure that the data is accurate. And I also want you to pay attention to a few inquiries that you do not recognize. So this is really important. You really have to go granular here. It's all about granularity. It's all about detail, okay? So that's the very first thing. If you want to increase your TransUnion credit score, you need to get the facts. Step number 2, I want you to right the wrongs. What is that? By the way, welcome back to the channel. I'm very happy to have you here. In today's convo, we're having a serious discussion about how to increase your TransUnion credit score. Step number 1, get the facts. Step number 2, I want you to correct the wrongs. The thing here is that let's say you just you did dig into your TransUnion credit report, right? And you actually spotted a few inaccuracies, a few derogatory items. What do? Well, I want you to contact. See, the thing is, when you have inaccuracies, inconsistencies in your credit report, there are two things you can do. You can contact TransUnion, in this case the credit reporting agency, or you can contact the data furnisher. In other words, the institution that furnished, that supplied that data in the first place to TransUnion. The thing is, credit reporting agencies, they're just like repositories of personal data. They're not producing the data. They are maintaining it, and they are reporting it to all the various stakeholders. So it's always better to actually choose option number 2. Actually, you want to contact the data furnishers. In this case, this could be Chase, American Express, Navy Fed. It could be anybody. It could be your landlord. It can be anybody. Okay. So you want to contact your creditors. And so what you want to do is you want to talk to them, and you want to ask them to correct the mistake. Or you can initiate a dispute via the credit reporting agencies. There's a whole process in place, online, over the phone, or via mail, via UPS, USPS mail, where you can actually ask the company, the reporting, the CRAs, the credit reporting agencies, to actually correct credit report inaccuracies. And by law, TransUnion or Equifax or Experian, into today's conversation, we're talking about TransUnion. They have generally 30 days to investigate your claim and make appropriate corrections, okay? So this is really important. Now, TransUnion is very great because they allow you to actually start everything online. Start everything and do everything online. You don't have to write a letter. You don't have to pick up the phone and be on the phone for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. People are trying to procrastinating on your ass, whatever. No, you can actually initiate things. But the thing is, you have to follow up though. This is very important. Step number 3. So I just want to remind everybody of today's topic. We're talking about how to increase your TransUnion credit score like crazy. It's very important. And TransUnion, especially if you are, let's say you want to get a loan from a lender who pulls TransUnion, and you really are worried about your TransUnion credit score, then you really want to pay attention to this. Step number 3, you want to identify problem areas. See, the whole thing here is that you need to look for troublesome areas on your credit report, and you have to plan how you can better manage those accounts and behaviors for credit improvement. What I'm trying to say here is that, see, when you have, and let's say you have what we call a problematic area. Let's say you have a collection or you have a charge-off. That's legit. In other words, you initiated it. Your action initiated it. Okay, by not paying your bills, you actually have caused the charge-off or the collection. So you have to think about, what's your game plan, boss? It's not just about looking at the data and say, okay, it's just probably sitting there, whatever. No, you cannot say whatever to a collection or a charge-off. It's very important to have a game plan. Do you plan on paying the bill, or do you want to contact the data furnisher or the collections agency and just kind of have a conversation, start conversation? See, it's not about paying the bill, but you want to start a conversation so that ultimately you can pay, let's say 25%, 50% of the bill if you can't pay the full 100%. Okay. Now, if it's tough for you to pay your bills on time, I want you to sign up for an automated payment service. Here we're speaking about ways to prevent that kind of situation. Very important. If you carry balances of more than 30 to 35% of your available limit on any credit cards, you want to create a payment plan to reduce those amounts. Or even better, I want you to live below your means, within your means. Okay. You have to set goals for credit management, and you need to celebrate reaching milestones. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's not just about identifying problematic areas. You want to find solutions for those problematic areas. So this is really important. There's an entire formula. There's an entire process to follow. And we basically, if you have questions, please let us know in the comment section, and we'll certainly answer you. Step number 4, you got to follow up, boss. See, the thing is, you have actually gotten the fact. You have corrected the wrongs. You have initiated disputes online over the phone or via USPS mail. You have identified problematic areas in your financial routine. It's very important now to follow up on whatever you have actually raised or you have highlighted to TransUnion. What I'm trying to say here is that if you want to increase your TransUnion credit score, you need to follow up on those items, on those derogatory items. Some of them could be legit, some invalid. You need to follow up to make sure that the mitigating factor, the mitigating solution that you have put in place or that you have agreed on with the institution, that mitigating factor is indeed effective. Okay, so you want to check your credit score, your TransUnion credit report again 30 to 60 days after you pay off debts to see if your report reflects credit improvement. Okay, you got to follow up. You need to stay on top, because see, the thing is that some of those data furnishers, they play games. They might agree with you, like, let's say, the thing is, they're not playing games because they really want to play games. It's just that things happen. Okay, they have a gazillion accounts to monitor, and before you know it, they forgot about yours. And it is your responsibility to worry about your own account. So if you feel you need to explain anything, you want to add a consumer statement to your credit report. This is something that a lot of folks don't really do. What I'm trying to say here is that let's say you have talked to them, and after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you're like, listen, This stuff is going too far and it's just wasting my time. I feel like they're just dazzling me. So what you want to do is you want to ask TransUnion to add a consumer statement to your credit report. And by law, they are compelled to allow you to actually do this. Okay. So what I'm trying to say here is you have a lot of options, but you got to follow up. You really got to follow up. You can't sleep on your laurels. You can't just say, listen, I filed my paperwork. I have filed my dispute letter, and that's it. Things will just take care of themselves. They don't. They don't. Step number 5. You got to monitor your credit, boss. See, the thing is, you've done a lot of work. You have actually followed up. You have contacted the agency, whatever. And the thing going forward was a game plan. Game plan is you need to monitor the good work that you have actually established. See, the thing is, as I just said, those things do not take care of themselves. You got to follow up. Okay, you have to follow up. And to protect yourself from identity theft also, or if you need help in credit management, and if you want to keep your credit healthy, you want to enroll in a credit monitoring program that will notify you of critical changes in your credit report. Some people actually freeze their TransUnion reports. You don't have to freeze anything. Just enroll in some kind of automatic notification program, and you are fine. You are good to go. Okay. And what you want to do here is that this is really important. A lot of folks don't do this. You want to save copies of your credit reports and letters of dispute in a safe place. This could be on a USB drive. It could be on your computer. It can be on the cloud and whatnot. It really doesn't matter. But what matters is that you need to keep trace. You need to keep track. You need to have some kind of archiving process that identifies when you contacted the TransUnion. Okay, what really happens afterwards. So those are really important. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to really be clear about. And this is one of those things where you have to be clear about what happens and when. One thing I want to say here also is that you want to evaluate your progress, because how would you know you're making progress if you don't evaluate yourself? Okay, and the thing is that it's important that you have a way to track what you did. If you actually reached the kind of goal that you wanted to reach, and if things haven't changed, what were the processes you had put in place to change things? This is really, really important. One thing I want to say also in terms of monitoring your credit, as I said before, a lot of financial institutions, starting with Chase, all the way to Navy Fed, all the way to American Express and whatnot, they allow you to have free access to your FICO score. This could be your FICO score or your Vantage score 3.0. Okay, so if a credit card issuer or a lender allows you to have access to your TransUnion credit report, that's fantastic. That's really great. So here you have it, the five steps that you need to follow if you really want to increase your TransUnion credit score like crazy. Okay, now before we close to this conversation, I want to have an overview of the whole debate. So what really affects your TransUnion credit score? Well, similar to your Experian credit score or to your Equifax credit score, there are 5 quintessential factors that affect your credit score. Basically, we have said this before, but we'll say this again because, as you know, here we are all about repetition. We are all about making sure that certain things become second nature to you. Certain things become a reflex for you. Okay. Payment history. Payment history is always important, boss. Always important. Whether you want to increase your TransUnion credit score, or your Experian credit score, or your Equifax credit score, for that matter, your payment history accounts for 35%. That's more than 1/3, boss. That's more than 1/3. So if you really think about it, if you just took care of payment history, payment history, that's 1/3 already. The second quintessential criterion is the amount you owe, right? So here we're speaking about your credit utilization ratio, your CUR. it's just pivotal. 30%, think about that. 30% of your score, of your TransUnion score, Equifax or Experian. Equifax, yeah, those scores, 30%. So that's number two. Number three, you have your credit your credit history. So basically, how long you have had credit, that accounts for 15%. And then you have your credit mix, 10%. And you also have if you have new credit, 10%. So overall, here you have it, the 5 quintessential factors that are really important when it comes to calculating your TransUnion credit score. And as we always say, if you could just take care of the first two and just stay put, you are good to go. The first two being what? You have amounts owed, in other words, your credit utilization ratio, and the payment history. If you can actually take care of those two, you would have actually taken care of what? 65% of the weight of your TransUnion or other credit score in general. 65%. That's nearly 2/3. And by staying put, that means what? You're not applying for new credit sporadically. You're not applying for new credit randomly. You are very disciplined. So by doing that, you would have reduced the number of credit inquiries on your report. Before I close to this conversation, I want to give you a few pro tips, because when we talk about your TransUnion credit score, there are certain accounts that impact your TransUnion credit score like crazy. So the thing is that you have to understand, not all credit types are created equal. Okay. For example, I was just talking to you about the amounts owed, right? Your credit utilization ratio. Well, this historically only applies to revolving types of credit. For example, a credit card or a line of credit. Okay. So if you just had an installment loan, you wouldn't have an impact on your CUR. So by definition, an installment credit, such as a credit card, or a revolving credit, such as a line of credit, they have bigger impact on your credit score. Having said that, all types of credit arrangements, all types of loans, all types of financial obligations, if you don't pay them, you are basically on the wrong side of history in terms of your FICO score. The reason is, again, as I just said earlier, your payment history accounts for 35% of your TransUnion or Equifax or Experian credit score in general. Okay, this is really important. Now, one thing I want to say here is that some people always have said, well, can service accounts impact your TransUnion credit score? Yes, if the utility company, for example, because that's what we're talking about here. We are speaking about service accounts. This could be a utility or phone bill. Okay, they don't automatically report to credit bureaus, but if you have a vendor that agrees to report your transactions, then that reporting will actually be taken into account. That's why if you want to have peace of mind, please, I want you to pay all bills. Okay, it's not about, well, I think this bill is more important than the other bill. No. Don't you start this sort of hierarchy of bills, and the last thing you know, you can't pay any of them anyway. No, all bills are important because you owe them. You owe the bill. Somebody has rendered services to you, and you have to pay the person in return. Somebody has provided a service or has given you a good, so you have to pay for that service or good. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, we're just talking about how to increase your TransUnion credit score like crazy. Step number 1, get the facts. Step number 2, you want to right the wrongs. Step number 3, you want to identify problem areas. Number 4, you want to follow up. And number 5, you want to monitor your credit. Very important. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.